Welcome back to Stitches and Tales with Rue. If you are new, I'm so happy that you are here and that you found my channel. If you don't mind, please smash on that subscribe button, hit on that like button, and let's get pulling around. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our felt. I'm going to use pink because I'm making a little girl's basket. It's a 9x12 piece of felt. I just bought this one at Hobby Lobby. I'm going to make sure that the sticker is peeled off. And I'm going to take my pool noodle that I cut off, 6-inch, and I'm just going to wrap it around it. And then I'm going to hot glue this edge right here. So what I do is I'll take and I'll glue down like this, and then I'll roll my pool noodle onto it, and then I use a popsicle stick to kind of press it down to kind of save on my fingers from the glue. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fold in here. I'm going to slit this in a few places just to make it easier. To fold in. So I'm going to take a little bit of glue on the bottom side and stick it in. I'm going to use my popsicle stick and fold it in. A little bit more glue there. And fold it up. Add a little bit of glue here. Fold it. Add some glue here. Fold it. I want to pull these ones really tight and press it down. You want to do one strip at a time. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of glue just to press in those edges. Okay, so when I do this side, I want to fold down here with this side, and then I'm going to cut this area here. So let me go ahead and put glue first on this little section. And press it. And then put some here. Fold it in like so. Put it down a bit of glue there to kind of attach my glue. Make a couple of slits. Going to glue this. And then I'm going to glue this side. Fold it over and glue. I'm just going to kind of trim that piece off. This doesn't have to be perfect. It's going to get tucked inside of the bunny ear. You just want to have it glued enough so that it's not going to come apart on you. So whatever way you can get it to glue down will be just perfect. Add a little bit of extra glue. Okay. There we have our first bunny ear insert. So I'm going to finish the second one up and then we'll be right back. Okay, so now we're going to make the bunny ear wrapped in the fur. So we're going to take the pink, tuck it in here, the back side, on the back side of the fur. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take and put a small layer of glue on each side, and then we're just going to tuck the sides over to give us a smooth edge. So I'm going to take the hot glue gun. Just run a little bit of glue all the way up. We're going to take it, we're going to fold it over. Like so. And then we're going to do the other side. And flip it around. Just going to tuck it over. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to place our pink insert in. You want to make sure that this seam is facing down. And then you're going to leave just a little bit on the edge. Okay. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the glue and I'm going to run it along the seam from the pink to the pink. And I'm going to roll towards me. And then I'm going to use my popsicle stick to smooth it out along the edge. Okay, I'm going to flip it over. make sure you don't leave any bulges underneath there. So I'm going to make sure you pull a little bit tight. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Just going to run this strip of hot glue down. And I'm going to roll it. Use my popsicle stick. Okay. I'm going to run hot glue around this edge, and then I'm going to pinch these two edges together like this. Again, you can use the popsicle sticks to kind of smash them together. If you use your fingers, just be careful that the glue doesn't peek through the fur. Okay. I'm going to kind of smash it down like that, and I'm going to fold this piece up, and we're going to hot glue these ends together here. And then just press down. Okay, now we're going to hot glue down this section here, and then we're going to pinch these two sides together. You just want to hold it a second for the glue to adhere. Okay, so you see the ear's a little bit floppy. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use butcher paper. You can use tissue paper, whatever you want. I'm going to take this and we're going to shove it up inside of the ear to help form the ear. You want to kind of scrunch it. You don't want to use too much. And yes, my Belgian Malin wall's in the background. I apologize. And you're just going to shove it up inside the ear like that. And if you need to add a little bit more, you can. And then we're just going to put a little bit of glue here. And pinch it together. We're going to stick a little bit of glue here, and we're going to pinch that together. I'm just going to pinch that together, and I'm going to use a little clip and just clip it here until that dries. Okay. And then I have the other one done, so your bunny ear is going to look like this. As you can see, it's got some shape to it, it's got some crinkly to it. And if you feel some rough edges of the glue, you can always just trim it up. There we go. The next thing we're going to do is wrap our pool noodle, the remainder of our pool noodle, with the fall fur. This is 8.5 by 36 inch. So I'm going to unfold it here. You're going to want to make sure that the pool noodle is right along the edge. I'm going to do this in little sections here. So I'm going to run the glue down, just kind of like we did the bunny ear. And then we're going to roll the pool noodle, make sure it's straight. To capture it, we're going to use our popsicle stick. Okay. And I'm going to do this next section and I'll be right back. Okay, on this side, I'm going to put a thin layer and fold it over just like we did on the ear. Do a small clip here. Okay, I'm just going to run some glue along the edge here, down. Okay, just finishing up running the glue down here so that I can fold this edge over. Just fold this over, use the popsicle stick to smooth out the edges. Okay, now I'm just going to run the glue down and fold the pool noodle over. So once I get that done, I'll be right back. Okay, I have the glue on, so I'm just going to kind of roll it. I want to make sure that it's tight. And roll it and press it down. You just kind of want to press on it. And then we're going to go ahead and let it dry. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our ribbon. It's 2.5 inches by 108 inches, or 2.5 inches by 3 yards. And we'll actually need 2 spools of this. I just actually got this at the Dollar Tree. They were $1.25 a roll. And what we're going to do is we're going to weave it in and out of the basket. So this piece here where it's folded, I'm going to use that as my start piece. And I'm going to wrap it around. I'm going to take this, I'm going to wrap it around the basket like this. And then I'm going to hot glue that so it'll stay in place. I'm going to take the basket down like this. I'm going to reach in with my hot glue gun. Put a little bit of glue on the ribbon, like so. And then I am going to take my popsicle stick and I'm just going to fold the ribbon over on top. See if you can see better this way. So I just kind of fold it, put the glue on, and then you just kind of fold the ribbon over like this. You can kind of see it there. And I'm going to take one of these purple clips here, and I'm just going to clip it over top of that until the glue dries, and then that'll help hold it in place. So what I'm going to do with the ribbon is I'm just going to weave it in and out. So I'm going to skip 2, go under, come out, skip 2, go under, and come out. So I need to take this ribbon off of the spool. I'm going to use my pool noodle to help me hold it up here. So make sure that your ribbon does not get tangled. I lost track of mine. So I'm going to skip 2, tuck it down in so that it's behind. I'm going to pull it through like so. Make sure you untangle it. knots like that. Then I'm going to skip 2 and tuck it back down inside. So skip 2, tuck it down inside here, and then I'm just going to pop it out on the other side of this one and pull through. You can straighten these up as you go, and then you can come back and make adjustments. So again, we're going to skip 2, tuck it down in, and back out. Just my ribbon. Okay, and then I'm just going to keep going until I get this spool done. Okay, so I have the ribbon around the first row, and I went through and make sure that it wasn't twisted anywhere. Okay, and then I'm down to the last, so I'm going to go ahead and take this clip off now. That glue's dry enough there, so I'm going to take the end, and I'm going to stick it through here. I'm going to pull it all the way through the inside of the basket, and then I'm just going to go up and I'm going to start from this, just go one over from the top one and pull it through. And I'm going to just start my weave again. So I'm going to go 1, 2, and down. Pull it through. So you see, I didn't count this one because this was my starting one. So then it was 1, 2, and under. And then I'm going to pull it up through this one. Skip 1, 2, back in. And then pull it out. And I'm just going to continue around until I get this second row done. Okay, so I've got it wrapped around the second time. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to end it down inside the same one that I started it out of the last time. Straighten out the ribbon here. And you can always take a dab a little hot glue on there to kind of hold that piece up on the plastic. Just a little bit. And that'll help hold that up. And I'm going to go ahead and put the clip there to hold it in place. Now, I'm going to take on the inside of this ribbon here, I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut it off. And I'm going to save this piece of ribbon here because we're going to use it to make a bow for the outside of the basket at the end. And then what I'm going to do with this little bit here is I'm going to place a little bit of hot glue on it, and I'm going to fold it over like so. Take this clip off. Actually, I'm going to put the hot glue on this side of the material here. I'm going to fold it over this way over top of the other ribbon. Use my popsicle stick and fold it over that ribbon and up to that next plastic piece. And that helps fill the gap in there. Okay. And then what you'll do is you'll just make this part here where we have it glued, because all the gluing is going to be on the back. We'll just kind of make this the back of the ribbon. So I'm going to go ahead and do my second ribbon of spool. Again, this has got the Easter eggs on it. Got it from the Dollar Tree. Got the basket from the Dollar Tree. So I'm going to put this back on. I'm going to do it the same way, and then I'll be right back. Okay. So we have our basket completely weaved. There's what it looks on the outside. There's what it looks like on the inside. And don't worry about how it looks right here with the glue. We're actually going to put a lining down inside here, so the inside of this is going to be covered up. The main thing is that, you know, we let the glue dry, and then we'll go ahead and go on from there. Here you can kind of straighten out your glue. If you want, you can always take a, if you don't like the way something's looking, just kind of take a piece of glue and kind of put a little bit on your basket. Use your popsicle stick and kind of hold it down. And then you can always go on the inside where that's folded up right here, and you can just dabble a little bit of a glue on and then press it on. So let me go ahead and put a little bit of glue on there. Kind of stretch that down. Grab my popsicle stick and hold it there. Okay. And again, once we put the pink fabric on, you're really not going to notice that. And this is going to be towards the back. Okay, so the next thing we're going to create is the bow for the front of the basket. So what I did is I took the extra ribbon that I had, and I got 4 sections. And you can see I've got the smaller section, then a section a little bit bigger than that one, and then a section a little bit bigger than that one, and then one just slightly bigger than that, or it can be the same size. So this back one here, we're actually going to use for the tail of the ribbon. And then I just have a little pipe cleaner that we're going to use to place it together. I'm not a bow expert. This is just my easy way of doing a bow. So what we're going to do on the first little bow, little piece, I'm going to take it, I'm going to fold the centers over till they meet in the middle. And this ribbon does have wire in it, so it makes it a little bit easier. Just going to fold it over like that so that it's crossed over just a little bit in the back. Okay. Set that down, and then I'm going to do the next piece. Of course, you want to lay the bright side of the ribbon flat down on the table. You're going to fold one side to the center, press it down. You're going to fold the other side to the center, overlapping just a little bit, press it down. Okay, same thing with this next piece. Kind of flip it so that the bright side is on the bottom, the inside of the ribbon is facing me. I'm going to fold it in half, and I'm going to fold it in half again, overlapping just slightly. Press down on it. Then I'm going to flip this side over. Then I'm going to take the middle size one and lay it on top. I'm going to take the small one and lay it on top, again with the back that we have folded facing the back. There's a little wire here. I'm going to go ahead and clip that with my scissors. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up the ribbon, and I'm just going to, I push the center in and I fold the sides back like that. Then I'm going to take my twisty tie, my pipe cleaner, I'm going to wrap it around to the back, and I'm going to twist it twice. Okay, and it should look like this. the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my tail ribbon and I'm going to wrap it around the bow like this in the front. I'm going to kind of squish it together just a little bit in the front and bring it to the back, and I'm going to make sure that both pieces cross over each other in the back like that. See how they're crossed over? Wrap this side up and that side down to where they're crossed over in the back. And then I'm just going to take my twisty tie and twist it. I'm going to have my twisty tie where it's this way from the bow, and that way I can wrap it around the basket when we're ready. Okay, so I'm going to flip it back over. I'm going to take the tails of my bow and I'm going to just kind of twist them so that they're facing the front like that. Okay, then you can fold it, cut to get a corner like that, or you can fold it and cut down at an angle to get a cut like that, this is the style that I prefer. You don't have to. You can cut it whichever way you want, or you can just leave it the way that it is. So I'm gonna take it and cut it. Okay, so it's just about the right length, the same length. That may not be perfect. I'm gonna tuck the pipe ribbon underneath that, and then you can leave it like this and put it on the basket like so. What I'm going to do is I take and I put my fingers in between each of the bows and I kind of fluff them up like so. I'm going to do the same thing to this side. And you may even want to put your bow on like that. But what I like to do is I'll take and I'll pull to kind of give them a little bit of a separation there. Fluff them back up, and then on this side I'll do it the opposite direction. Kind of gives my bow a little bit of dimension. And then you can just take it, place it in your basket, and then twist tie it in like so. Okay, but we're going to put the ribbon on the basket at a later stage. Okay, so now we're going to kind of find the placement of the bunny ears. So I'm just going to kind of set my handle in here to see where I want it at, like this. Let me raise it up a little bit so you can see the top of the handle. Okay, and we're not going to tie that in or anything yet. I'm just going to kind of freehand this to see. Okay, then I'm going to take my bunny ears and I'm going to place them up on top to see where I want the placement of my bunny ears. Okay, so once I do that, I have a blue marking pen. So I'm going to do it one at a time. I'm going to put my bunny ears up here. You got to be gentle. I mess with these a million times. So I want it right about there. So I'm going to place a blue mark here where I want this one to go. I'm going to set the other one up where I want it. And I'm going to set a blue mark there where I want it to go. And then we have 2 blue marks. Okay, then we're going to set this down here. Now, the next thing you're going to need is 2 metal pieces. You can use metal wire. I just used a hanger. My husband brings these home from work all the time with his work clothes. And what I did is I just took and I put it at the ends here, all the way in, take it all the way back, and you just snip it. And I did that on both sides of the wire at the bottom to give me the 2 wires. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my X-Acto knife that I have here, and I'm going to just punch it down into the holes there. And then I'm going to do the same thing with each of my bunny ears. So with the front of my bunny ear, I'm just going to take my X-Acto knife, kind of twist it down, poke it in. Twist it down and poke it in. You just want to make sure that it's getting into that foam. Okay, I'm going to set that aside. Okay, so then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the wire piece and I'm going to run it up in that hole I just created in my bunny ear. And I only want just a little bit hanging out of the bottom. And I am going to do the same. Clip this corner off. To this side. Okay. And then we'll take the bunny ears and we'll put them in the holes like this. That way when we put it up there, and we're going to go ahead and hot glue them in play. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold these back, the extra lips to the bunny ears. I'm going to fold those back like that. And then I'm going to take my hot glue gun and I'm just going to glue, glue, glue like crazy, even around my metal wire here, because I want this to be as stable as I can. Then I'm going to take this and then just shove it down inside that hole. I'm going to leave the back folded up, and I'm going to lean up against my basket to help it dry. And then I'm going to do the same thing to this side. I'm going to fold the bottom piece back. I'm going to hot glue. And then we are going to just stick it in to the hole. Okay, and then we are just going to let those dry. You can kind of see. We are going to just kind of let those dry. I have the pool noodle up against the basket. And once they dry, we'll be right back. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put the bunny ears, we're going to zip tie them onto the basket. I have these zip ties. They are a lot longer than what you need. You can actually use an 11-inch zip tie, but I only have these monstrous things on hand and I'm not running to the store. So these are the zip ties that we're going to use. So I do have the first side zipped on. So what I did is I took the zip tied in, make sure it wrapped around a piece of the basket, and I pulled it tight, and then I cut the edge off, and then I tried to push the edge all the way to the back. And I'm remembering to keep where I hot glued in the back. So the pink of the ears you want to face towards the front. The white of the ears you want to face towards the back. So I'm just going to bend this in. And I'm going to have it to where it sits like right here is going to be where the end of the bunny handle is. So I'm going to stick it here. And I'm going to grab my zip tie. I'm going to make sure that it wraps around the white of the plastic. Pull it through. And then I'm just going to pull my zip tie tight. See, I have the zip tie tied around it. Just going to pull it tight. And then I'm going to move this part of the zip tie towards the back. And then I'm going to just reach in with my scissors and tighten it up just a little bit more. Get it as tight as I can. And then I'm going to reach in with my scissors and cut it off. Okay. And then I'm going to use a second zip tie. And I'm just going to do the same thing. But I'm going to do it more towards the top of the handle. Make sure it's wrapped around one of the plastic pieces. And finish pulling it tight. I'm going to twist it to the back this way. I'm going to finish pulling it tight. And then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to snip the edge of it off, getting it as close as I can to the zip tie back. Okay, then we have those in. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hot glue the back of my bunny ears on the fur so that they stay a little bit tighter. So let me get the hot glue going and then I'll be right back. Okay, so now I'm gonna hot glue this fur of the ears to the handle. So we're just gonna kind of fold these pieces up so that we can work with them. And popsicle stick handy. And take my hot glue gun and I'm just going to kind of add some glue onto the fur here. I'm going to add some down here as well. And we're just going to kind of press it down. Like so. You have a little scraggly piece of glue there. And we're going to do this side. Popsicle stick. Press that down. You can see it blends in really well. Okay, now I'm going to let that dry a little bit before we lift it up. and then we'll be back. Okay, so I have my 18 by 42 piece of fabric. I did press it in my thing. I've got the second piece heating in the heat press. I'm going to take my hot glue gun, I'm going to run it down the edge, and I'm going to fold it over to give a nice clean cut like we did the ears. So I'm going to go ahead and do the glue. Just kind of shoot it down the edge real quick. Okay, I got my trusty popsicle stick. And I'm just going to fold it over and glide my popsicle stick as I go along. Again, the popsicle stick just saves me from the glue coming out and hitting my finger. If it's going to come out, it's going to get on the popsicle stick versus me, which I like a lot better. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and take this and we're going to start putting the lining on the inside of the basket. We're going to glue it right along the rim, so that it's inside of the basket. So the top part that I just glued is the top that's going to get glued up along the rim. So I'm going to start behind this ear, or this handle, and I'm going to just tack some glue on there along the edge of the fabric. I'm going to take it over and line it up. You can see here. Line it up on the basket and press down and wrap it around the handle. And then I'm going to put some more glue. I'm going to lay the basket down, and then at this point just see if it's easier to run the glue along the basket. I'm just going to do it in small chunks. Bunny ears are kind of blocking the camera view. Let me go ahead and just keep running it on. I'm just going to keep running it along until I get to the end of the fabric, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have the first half of the basket done. You can kind of see we just have a small section here that we need to do. So I think what I'm going to do with that other piece of fabric is I'm going to cut it down to half of its size, and I'm going to glue the side like we did on this, and then I'm going to come back and then just tack it in, finish tacking it in. And I'll be right back. Okay, so we have the lining glued all the way around. As you can see from the outside, it kind of fills up any of the holes and stuff that you kind of saw before, so it kind of cleans it up a good bit. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take the cake top, cardboard cake top, and we're going to glue it down inside the basket. Now these ends of the basket are just kind of loose here. I'm going to take a few drops of glue and just kind of glue the fabric together a little bit on the bottom, and then I'm going to come back and we'll glue the cake top on. Okay, so here is my cake topper. So I'm gonna have, this is kind of brown on this outside and this is the silver on the inside. So I'm going to use the silver side up, and then I'll place it inside of the basket like that. So it's flat. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna kind of literally cake the bottom of this with hot glue. I knew I would get it on the table. And then I'm going to pick up the cake topper and I'm going to put it in the bottom of the basket. So I'm carefully going to flip it and then just press it down in the bottom of the basket. Okay, so now I have the fur that we're going to put around the brim of the basket here. I have 2 pieces. They are approximately 4 inches by 28 inches. And we're just going to kind of lay it along like that. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do clean the edges like we did with the bunny ears on both sides of all the fabric with the hot glue. And then once I do that, I'll be back. Okay, so I have my 2 pieces, kind of the edges kind of glued so it gives it a better edge. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put glue down the center of this, and then I'm just going to wrap it around the basket. And I'm just going to put it in the center where there's no fur, because that's the part that we want to stick to the basket. So we're just going to pick this up, and I'm going to start towards the back of this handle and then just kind of press it along and turning the basket as I go, and then press it back down. Then I'm going to come in and dab the edges because they're a little bit flimsy, so we want to make sure those are definitely down good. So I'm going to dab that area with glue and put a little bit on the basket, and then just kind of press it down in. The bottom's pretty good. And then see how this is a little flimsy up here? I'm going to go ahead and just go just along the edge of the basket and kind of press down. And that'll cover up the top of that pink lining so that if it wasn't perfect, no one will ever know. And then I'm going to make sure these corners are down like I did on the other side. Press it in, same as the bottom. Just dab a little glue on and press it to the bottom. And then just kind of go around and press down again, and then you can touch up anywhere you think you need a little bit of glue at. Okay, the front side's done. So now we just need to do the back. We're just going to repeat the same steps on the back. So let me get that done and we'll be right back. Okay, so now we have the lining in our Easter basket, and we have the fur around the brim. Okay, and you can see the lining on the inside kind of filled up the holes that you saw earlier with the ribbon. And you can go in and straighten up the ribbon, you know, if you see an area that you don't like or whatever. Okay, so the last thing that we have to do is the bow that we made earlier. I'm just gonna kind of fluff it up again. And I'm gonna find the center, and I am going to go along the top of the ribbon and wrap the pipe cleaner around these two pieces. And I'm just going to twist those. Then I'm going to cut the pipe cleaners off. You can fluff your bow. Okay, and there we have our Easter basket. Thank you for watching. If you liked my video, please make sure you hit that like button, smash on that subscribe button, and leave me a comment. And until next time, let's keep pulling around.